What up, what up, what up, and welcome to motherfucking Pinoy News. Y'all know how we do out here, man. Listen, we out here getting it done, making this money, handling all business, all right? Because that's what it is that we do every day, all right? I realize it's 2 o'clock, but you know what, man? Tom Pease is unemployed at the moment, you know what I mean? So I'm sitting here making some money on the markets, and I'm going to try and bring y'all some information on why it is you should be motherfucking paying attention to what's going on, and bring you information that maybe, just maybe, you can be like us and make some fucking money. You know what I'm saying? I'm up 40% for the day. I'm up 96% in the past 2 weeks. I've been trying to tell y'all to jump in and get on these shorts. And I mean, I'm not a financial advisor. Neither is my man Doku here, but we is here. And I mean, to try and, like, you know, help y'all out and get right. What up, Huckabees? Yo, what up, Huckabees? How you doing, my brother? It's nice to see you out here. And I mean, we're gonna have people climbing as we motherfucking go through and do what we do. And I mean, did gold prices go up? No. Low vibes. What up, man? Yo, don't worry about gold and silver right now. Real shit. Gold and silver is not going to make no motherfucking money. You know what I mean? Like, at the moment, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's really where we're at the second. So, you know what I mean?
Well, and that's
like, just like,
let's start. Let's start with gold and silver.
Go ahead.
Let's start with gold and silver. If you guys wanted to get in on gold and silver, you missed that ship, man. Like, that's a store of wealth. That's a risk adverse asset. The only time you should be buying that is when you've made money and you don't want to lose it. Right now, it's too high. If silver goes to 15, 14, buy it. But right now, too high.
Yo, Jeff Vader, what up? Yo, don't buy the dip. Don't buy the dip. Don't buy the dip yet. All right. If you're looking, there's two different types of investors, right? There's long-term and there's short-term. I am a short-term investor, all right? I'm not a guy who wants to be in the market for the next 30 fucking years. I'm not interested in retiring off the market right now. You know, that's not really where my mentality is. You know what I'm saying? I feel you, right? Which is beautiful. But my shorts is covered, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm in these ETFs where, like, everybody's getting paid, you know what I mean? Like, yo, I don't have to worry about whether or not they can cover the shorts. I ain't got to worry about no bullshit. All I got to worry about is motherfucking making money, and that's kind of where I'm at. I got in short about 2.5 weeks ago. I got in all these shorts and shit, and, like, I just held, you know what I mean? I did not get out, and I think that's the part where a lot of individuals is missing. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people are like, oh, I got out of the shorts and I got out of the shorts. And I'm like, y'all motherfuckers is retarded. You know what I'm saying? You should have hung on. Because I'm up 40 fucking % for the day.
Well, and that's the thing. It depends on what shorts you're looking at too. I mean, if you're short the Dow, dude, hang on to that shit, because the Dow was already overbought and overextended to begin with. Same thing goes with the Russell, the S&P, and any other major indice. Commodities are a little different. Like, you do have to pay a little more attention to the supply demand, and you have to watch those reports, and that changes week to week. But as far as the stock market goes, if you don't want to short the stock market, buy something that's long on the fucking VIX. The volatility index will make you money. You'll make it hand over fucking fist. But again, you're a short-term investor. You're more like me. You're like an intermediate trader. Not a day trader, but intermediate. Hold on to it for a week, maybe a month. And then when you start seeing some big profits, you start taking a little bit off the table. Not all of it, but bit by bit.
Yeah. And I mean, because it's kind of on that level where, like, all right, so I'm going to hold on to this until we're down to the bottom, right? Fucking MGTOW Farmer, I called 14,000. Right, that's my mentality right now, and I have not been wrong about my numbers. I told Doku the other day, right? Me and him were talking, and fucking I spoke about this fucking one of my videos. I said, look, I was talking to Doku, and you know, I mean, oil was sitting at like 42, some shit like that, right?
No, we talked when we talked. It was 48, and I said it was going to go to like 42. And then Saudi Arabia got in a pissing contest with Russia and said, you know what? If you don't want to play ball, fine. And we'll talk about this a little bit more moving in. But, bro, I'm sorry. Nobody can see.
What did I say? Yo, what did I say?
Yeah, but, bro, you can't see a 30% drop. 10 to 15, that's one thing.
What did I say? What did I say?
No, you said they were going to get in a pitching match. You said oil was going to go down, but not 30.
What was the number?
30%.
What was the number? What was the number I called?
You said it was going to go between 25 and 35.
I told you 25. I told you, I said it's going to 25. Yo, it hit 25 that night.
No, it hit 35, bro. It has not gone to 25 yet. But
It did.
At this point in time, no, if you adjust for what the moving averages were when we were talking versus what it is now, we're definitely in 25 range. I'd say 21's not out of the question.
I feel you, but I knew it was going to go to 25. Like I knew for sure. And it hit 25 and then it bounced back up. That was I'm trying to think here. That was the night that the fucking Saudis announced that they were fucking dropping the prices by like 6 and 8 and 10% or whatever. Right?
Oh yeah, that's when they said it did have a spike down to 25. You're right. It did have a really quick spike. It bounced back, but it right now it's finding
going there though.
Yeah, it just sucks. It was in the overnight markets when the U.S. markets are fucking closed, and I'm not in the business of options trading. If I was, I would have bought in the overnights, but I don't do options. That shit's risky.
All right, so PJ Almighty, I'm an SQQQQ, fucking Tex and the UVIX, right? Fucking, and both of them are triple leverage short reverse ETFs, right? So I get paid 3 times, you know what I'm saying? Fucking as it's going down, you know what I mean? That's kind of the situation. For every 1% it goes down, I get paid 3%. That's what I'm doing right now, and like. On top of that, you also get paid as far as people pile into the ETS like a stock. You know what I'm saying? The more people are trying to buy it, the higher the price goes. So that's what I'm doing right now. You know what I mean? All right. So now with Doku, all right. I'm not a super expert on oil. Like I just kind of know trends in the markets as far as shit's concerned. I can see macro pictures going out, and I understand like I'm not going to call it the basics. I know an intermediate amount of fucking shit about oil. Like I know that, you know, I mean, a bunch of the stuff that me and you were talking about earlier. And this is why I was like, oh, fuck it, we're going to do a goddamn stream. Because I want you to tell these individuals like exactly what the situation is with oil, how it relates to the US, and like the reasons why like the US market as far as shale and all this shit's concerned is fucking dropping to nothing.
Oh, and so see, when it comes to commodities, most people think gold, silver, platinum, palladium, copper. Sometimes you'll hear somebody bring up rhodium. Why, I don't know. But oil is a different animal. So if you talk about just North America, the majority of North American oil production, specifically Alberta, Canada, and then the United States, the majority of all of our exports that you're seeing, that's shale oil. It's not coming out of Texas or the typical oil producers that you would normally see. It's not this sweet crude that gets refined, that gets stored. It's shale oil. And then with the majority, it's just a lot more difficult to produce than if you're saying, just looking for, Beverly Hillbillies, black gold down in West Texas, where you just hit an oil supply and just start pumping out of the ground. You see it shoot up like a fucking geyser. In order for that type of oil production to be profitable, because of all of everything that goes into it, WTI, West Texas Intermediate crude, has to be between $40 and $50 for that type of shale oil to be profitable. And that's why you've seen the US over the past several years export a good amount of oil. When it comes to all of this going on with Saudi Arabia and Russia, and they're in their little fucking spat about oil prices, to put it in perspective, Saudi Arabia per day can produce about 1 million barrels more than Russia can. They can price them out of the markets. On top of that, now the Saudis are going to a lot of the European, Indian, Chinese buyers, and they're offering them better deals. And so they're actually quite literally trying to price both the United States, Brazil, Canada out of the market, take the Western Hemisphere out of the market completely, and then they're going to pinch Russia out of the market because they can. They can suck up the hit. And Qatar and the UAE, they're going to follow suit with them. So that's what you're going to start seeing going forward, is the Saudis are just going to keep dropping the price. And you're going to see a massive glut when it comes to the oil supply. The one thing that you're also want to keep an eye on is you're going to want to look at a lot of the international oil producers and refiners and look at how much they're just sticking to inventory and not actually sending to refiners. because they don't want to sell at this price and take a loss. So the Saudis are just going to overflow the market until there's going to be emergency OPEC meetings are going to be on their table. That's exactly what they're doing right now. Because you have to remember, the Saudis have always been the big dicks in the room when it comes to OPEC. They were when it was founded. They have been ever since then. And they're proving that they are still the big dick in the room. Case in point, go check this out. Look at some of the oil shorts right now. You're seeing on the shorts, especially the 3 times leverage one, OILU is usually a good indicator. The average volume is about 70 to 50% of what the daily average usually is over the past 52 weeks. If you look at the 3 times long, they're at like 3 to 4 times the 52-week daily volume, which should tell you 2 things. One, a lot of people have bugged out, but there's also a shit ton of people that are buying because it's so damn cheap. And if you don't believe me, go look at I forget the actual term for it, cottagen or whatever the fuck it is. I'll just break down what it means. A bunch of traders will buy oil now and fill up the refineries, even if it means putting it on a super tanker, which you're seeing companies actually do. They're renting out super tankers just to use as temporary storage because the future prices are actually higher than the spot price right now. So they're hoarding oil at a cheap price currently to sell it at a higher price, say, a month later. But if you want to do that, that's still like a 2, 3, 4 month long trade. So they're just hoarding and going to sit back and wait, which is actually what I'm doing. I want the price to stay this fucking cheap because I'll just hoard as much as I can and I'll wait for it to go back to the $40, $50 range because it will eventually. It has to.
Okay. All right. So let me give you the macro about what's going on, right? All right. With the coronavirus happening and China shut down all their fucking industries and all the factories and markets and things of this nature, and they're not producing goods and they're not doing all this type of shit. The situation is that it ended up killing global trade to the point where they have these giant fucking ships sitting in ports, and they have ports in California where there's nothing at the port, right? There's no goods moving, right? So when there was no goods moving, that means that all that fucking oil that would have been used to move all these fucking goods is no longer being used. So you've killed demand. All right. And when you kill demand, you're going to kill the fucking price of oil. And that's why they had that emergency OPEC meeting in the first place. Right. It was because of the fact that demand was going down. And the Saudis, all right. The Middle East is not what a lot of people think the Middle East is. And this is where I think, what's his name? Fuck shit. What the hell's the guy's name? Fuck. All right. I'll quote him even if I don't fucking know. He said, war is a continuation of politics by another means. Politics is a continuation of economics by another means. All right. When it really comes down to it. And that was what Michael Rupert said. It was von Clausewitz said, war is a continuation of politics by another means. But so here's the deal. Saudi Arabia, Iran, Iraq, fucking Syria, Lebanon, all these countries that produce oil in the Middle East have massive amounts of social fucking problems. All right. They have a huge social safety net. Like most of their people don't fucking work. They'll have 50 to 60% of their population completely reliant upon social fucking handouts. And you have places like Iran where they had those protests a few years back, and everybody was like, or fucking, they were like last year or some shit like that. They're like, oh man, look, man, they're looking for freedom. No, they were bitching because they weren't getting their fucking, they ended up having a gas subsidy that they were getting from the fucking government, end up getting cut, right? And that was really the actual situation. So in order to run their governments, the government knows that it has to sell oil at a certain price. All right. And this is something that no one really understands. And this is kind of like, governments are just like businesses. You have to maintain a certain amount of fucking money coming in order to pay your fucking bills, or else you take out massive amounts of debt. Saudi Arabia has trillionaires in it. All right. Those princes and those crown royal individuals, they have trillions of fucking dollars. All right. And like a lot of people will say, oh, they're billionaires. Like, they're fucking trillionaires. Like, I absolutely fucking believe that. And they'll sit there and they'll wait. and they'll hold out on the fucking price. Me and Doku's talked about this before. Like, they can fund their own fucking government for like in perpetuity for a long fucking time. We're not real sure how long, but for a while. At least I'm saying bare minimum they can hold on a year. So, but Saudi Arabia doesn't want to have to do that.
They could probably go for about 18 months before the pain really starts to set in and it starts digging into personal pocketbooks, which when you do see that happen, they'll be real quick to negotiate, but they don't have to because they'll break everybody else before that time comes. It'll take them 6 months. Mark my words, 6 months from now, if Russia hasn't come to the table yet, we have a lot more to worry about than what the current state of the stock market is going to be, because the global economy will be beyond repair at that point in time. And the Saudis do have the ability to break the global economy like that, which is, if you talk to people like me who are kind of supply-demand purists, I do not like the fact that one nation has that much fucking power. Why do you think I'm against the idea of a fiat currency, especially one where they have us by the balls? Same reason I hate China owning so much U.S. fucking treasury bond debt. It's just not a good idea in the long term. And we're seeing that now with the coronavirus, a different conversation.
Yeah, so, all right. We've stood here and, because I want everybody to understand, like, the whole picture, right? Because I think it's important you understand the whole fucking picture as far as shit's concerned. Because this bigger picture ideology, the ideology that, like, a fucking Saudi Arabia can hold out for a little bit is a big part of this oil equation as far as the oil war is concerned. But they can only hold out but so long. Just like the rest of the Middle East can only hold out but so long. Iran's about fucking broke. And that's why Russia fucking, they said, no, we're not going to fucking stand here and not produce, because countries like Iran and fucking Venezuela can't afford to not produce fucking oil.
Well, I'll give you the price points here. Venezuela, they're already screwed. And if you guys want to check out an interesting article, there was a Mexican oil producing company that actually went to Venezuela and said they would trade food, rice, wheat, basic bullshit, for their dirty crude oil. So you have someone like Mexico willing to trade Venezuela for oil. So Venezuela, they're priced out. The United States, Canada, all of our exports, that gets priced out the second it goes below $42 on WTI crude. Production in the United States and Canada, that's priced out. Current prices, just standard oil production in North America, that's priced out at about $35. Russia's priced out around 30. Saudi Arabia can sustain itself right around 25 to 26 bucks. Once it starts going to 21, 22, Saudi Arabia starts losing money, along with the rest of the OPEC nations. There is not a single oil producing country right now, currently, that can sustain any profit above $20. Once it hits 21, everyone's losing money. What you need to keep in mind is oil reserves. Saudi Arabia can outproduce even the United States, and they have the infrastructure already in place to do it, which is why they're flexing their muscles right now. They're talking about 12,000 barrels per day. That's how much they're going to be tossing out. To put that in perspective, the United States was producing 13. We're the largest producer currently, but roughly half of that all comes from recent shale production. Cut that number in half. Saudis aren't producing shale. They're just pulling it right out of the ground. Normal pivot pumps that you would see driving anywhere through fucking West Texas. That's almost the entirety of Saudi Arabia. They don't need to do fracking.
Okay, well let's keep going with that mentality, right? So I've told my fans and I've told the individuals I've told my subs, I've told the people who listen to my content, I've told y'all before, the United States is not energy independent. All right. And the reason why the United States is not energy independent is because of the fact that we sell oil in the global market. Oil is globally fucking needed. So, like, say if I don't know, the UK needs fucking oil, all right? And we're producing it for 50 or $60 a barrel. And we're keeping it inside of our fucking market. If they're willing to pay $100 a fucking barrel for that oil, it'll go elsewhere. It's kind of the deal, right? Like, we're not going to stand here and hold on to that shit. So with that being said, I wanted a guy like Doku to also fucking tell you all this, a guy who actually trades oil for a living, to make you understand that we are not energy independent. This is a global market. Doku, please help me the fuck out.
Yeah, we're not energy independent. If the type of oil that we're actually exporting to people, again, what we export is mostly shale oil. Everything else, it's a supplement to what we import from other countries, because like what we're seeing with Saudi Arabia, they will actually come and offer, because we don't have a state-run or state-subsidized oil industry. We're not Venezuela. We're not Saudi Arabia. It's all private industries that are doing business in the United States. And for doing business in the United States, they kind of get some kickbacks. But if you want to talk about the oil industry in the U.S., it's really about refineries. Like, refineries is where you get the majority of the oil industry in the United States. If you really wanted the U.S. to be energy independent and you just wanted to rely on our own natural resources, there's three things you can do. We're not going to. I can tell you why. It's not profitable, but there's three things you could do if you didn't want to be reliant upon the rest of the world for your energy needs. Nat gas, which the United States has the most of anywhere in the world, period. No argument. Number two, geothermal. We could do that. Number three, nuclear. We won't. It's not profitable. And there's no private business that's going to do it, because it's the same thing with wind and solar. It's all government subsidized anyways. The government doesn't subsidize geothermal or nat gas. There have been plenty of venture capital businesses that have tried to do this, and they get shut down so fucking quick. By who? The oil industry, because it would be a direct threat, because we are a mass net consumer of oil. The only thing we export is our fucking shale production, and it's expensive to fucking get shale out of the tar sands. No, who actually does make money on the oil that doesn't have to worry about this are countries like Iran, Saudi Arabia, to a certain degree, Ukraine, Brazil, Alberta. Even though Alberta is not nearly as bad off as the rest of Canada when it comes to that type of thing. It's kind of the reason Kinder Pipelines wanted to build the whole Keystone XL pipeline. We wanted to actually tap into that reserve, so we didn't have to tap into the one in Alaska. Kind of the same reason Russia wanted to build a pipeline through Iran and Syria into the fucking Strait of Hormuz in the Persian Gulf. They wanted to be net exporters, but they don't want to export their good shit. They want to export the second and third hand stuff. But the United States is by no means energy independent. Because why? We don't have the infrastructure to actually get it out of the ground. And what we do have in place, it takes more money than it's actually worth to refine it and put it into any form that's actually usable. For example, go look at the EPI and the EIA numbers over the past several months. What you're going to see is you're going to see a buildup of crude reserves, but you're going to see a slow decline with a few spikes when it comes to gasoline, jet fuel, and heating oil. That's because all of that stuff that gets thrown into refineries, it's usually stuff we've bought from the Saudis or other OPEC nations for a shit ton cheaper, and we sell our more expensive shale oil to compensate for the price differentiation, which is why the Saudis are now pricing Russia out of the European market and the Indian market and the Chinese market, because they can sell it for $2 or $3 cheaper. That's why you're seeing all these companies just hoard as much oil that the Saudis are willing to sell, and the Saudis are willing to sell it because they're being spiteful towards Russia and they can actually afford to do it. It's that simple. It is just a simple supply-demand price war, which is why I focus on oil and not stock markets. It's a little less psychological, but you have to understand the refining process. Like, WTI crude goes into a refinery, and you get gasoline, you can get certain distillates, you can get jet fuel, you can get heating oil. But WTI crude is just the base level input. Or Brent oil if you're talking about the British international scale of how you're going to price things. But by no means are we energy independent. Because what happened to Russia when it comes to the oil price could just as easily happen to the United States, and in fact it already has. Shale oil is not profitable in the United States with oil prices below $40. And you're going to see shale production start to slow down, and if this lasts for any longer than 2 to 6 months, you will see a lot of the smaller shale companies just go completely belly up. Some of the bigger ones might come in and buy them out, but if oil prices stay at these levels for 6 months to a year, which the Saudis can drag out, you'll see even those companies stop doing business and refineries are going to shut down. You just can't make money.
Yo, you're roboting, nigga. You're
That simple.
Yo, sorry for y'all. Sorry. Yeah, yo, it happens, dude. It happens. Yo, Timothy, yo, it's appreciated, dude. I'm trying to bring out like the best we possibly can. And I'm saying, so, with that being said, all right, understand we are not energy independent. Like, yo, fucking these shale companies in the United States that are out here producing all this fucking oil for us and shit. And I know, like, I think became like the number 1 or number 2 producer in fucking oil, right? When it came down to it, like, fucking the reality is that this shit has to stay above $40-something a fucking barrel for them even to be functioning. And really, they've been living on borrowed time for fucking ever, right? Yo, the banks have been dumping money into these fucking companies and investing in them. But the reality is that they don't have the ability to fucking function on their own without that money. So, and with the fucking, Joe City goes, Joe Snyder, what up, man? Welcome back, my brother. It's nice to see you out here, right? Fucking, you cannot stand here and expect individuals to really put any of, any of this really in the fucking where it's really at. You know what I'm saying? Like real shit. So, with that being said,
well, Pinoid, another big problem that a lot of people don't bring up about North American shale oil production is just because of the nature of it. It's a lot more difficult, a lot more time consuming, and a lot more costly to refine and put it into any usable form than just your basic sweet West Texas crude. It's almost twice the price. So again, if you want to talk about break-even prices, you're looking at $40 to $42, depending.
It was 45 back in like 08, 09.
Yeah, we've put a little more infrastructure into it, though. So the refineries, the technology's gotten a little bit better. We don't have to worry about overloading the pipelines. But for any type of profit, it needs to be around $48 to $50. Otherwise, you keep those prices that way for about a year and a half. Most of these companies are going to go belly up without any kind of government handout or subsidy.
So, that's really where we're at. And so I wanted to bring Doku out here to explain this to y'all so y'all understand what the situation is. You know what I'm saying? By the way, the NBA I'm gonna cover all this here in a fucking video here in a little bit, fucking about the NBA. You heard the NBA then canceled the whole fucking season?
I did hear about that. I'm not an NBA fan anyways, but it is something that I kind of took note of.
Yeah, it's big. And the NHL also canceled their fucking season, and spring training then fucking got canceled as well. The remainder of the motherfucking season for MLB until this shit squares away.
Oh, and hell, you have a lot of like what E3, and it was like what one of the Comic Cons or whatever, where there's supposed to be a bunch of announcements. Like those all got canceled too.
There was a coronavirus joint that got fucking canceled too. Apparently somebody from there caught the coronavirus and they're like, oh yeah, we're going to cancel that shit as well. So like, yeah. So going forward, shit, man, like, yo, next month, like, yo, production will, I don't even know. Like, dude, how's China doing as far as new cases are concerned with coronavirus? Have you heard anything?
Actually, the cases in China are starting to slow down. So they're still going up, not at the same rate, but mortality rates have kind of started to plateau a little bit. I think there was a couple of days where actually there wasn't any increase, but it is looking like in China it's starting to plateau. It's just in Europe now it's starting to look even worse. And I think we can probably guess the reason behind that, but yeah, a little bit different topic of conversation. They're a little more little more liberal, a little more open about how they react to these types of things. Yeah. And again, we're talking about people who openly embrace the mentality of, oh, just go ahead and get the coronavirus. Nothing bad could happen, right? If you don't, then that's racist. You can't criticize the coronavirus. I'm still beside my who the fuck was it that said calling it a foreign virus or Chinese virus, with the orange man's
the Wuhan flu.
Yeah, like, oh, it only took Orange Man so long, 30 seconds to call it a foreign virus. It started in fucking China, dude. I saw one post on Twitter. I know I'm going off on a bit of a tangent, but this one just
You're good.
was mind-bogglingly. It was mind-bogglingly stupid to me. So I'll just share this with the chat, just because you're gonna have to suffer too. Someone made the dumbest comment I think I've seen about this. Hey everybody, do you realize that viruses don't have nationalities? Yeah, I'm pretty sure that nobody is stupid enough to think that calling the virus by its point of origin is saying that it has a nationality or citizenship, you vapid fucking idiot. Nice try, though.
Everybody wants, these fucking people all want to not be racist, but the reality is, I'm kind of happy all this shit fucking happened because it exposes, how, reliant we are upon China for our manufacturing and relying upon China for our fucking goods and all the, how intertwined the world really is at this point. Because, I'm not comfortable with that situation. I don't think it's a fucking positive thing for us. I think there should be more lockdowns on, travel and things of this nature between different fucking countries, but, it is
I agree.
what it is. You know what I mean?
I agree with you. I actually think in a weird way, in the short term, yes, this is going to be painful. And the same way that the China trade deal, the trade war was going to be painful. And I said, yeah, it was, but long term, this is actually to our betterment because it's going to show you just how reliant we are upon a globalized economy. Because as far as I'm concerned, and you can disagree with me on this one, but if you are not at least able to sustain your country in a time of crisis because you're so reliant upon a globalized economy and a globalized trade infrastructure, you're either naive or stupid. And this is a prime example of why you're either naive or stupid.
Well, yeah. This is kind of what the fuck it is that they're doing at the moment. I'm sorry, I was going to share a link in the chat. So, all right. Now, here's the thing. All right. Since all this shit got started, I'm up fucking, I think 96% on my motherfucking investments. Right. And I wanted to give y'all the opportunity, to make some more fucking money and shit as well. Make it not just about me. Right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in here. Right. And you click this link, I get a free stock if you click this motherfucking link and shit, whatever. It's basically free money for me, right? They don't motherfucking sponsor me, nothing along these type of lines. Fucking what you do is you go in, you get all linked up or whatever, and you buy these three companies, SQQQ, right? These are ETFs, right? Tex, right? And motherfucking the UVXY, okay? Because things are gonna fucking go down. It is what it is. There's no fucking choice, okay? I'm not asking you for money. I'm giving you the opportunity to make money. It's that fucking simple. I'm not a financial advisor, all right? But I'm gonna tell you like this. This is how I'm doing it, okay? It's very simple. You know what I mean? If I found a way to do something, I'm gonna motherfucking show y'all the way to do it as well. Okay. This here, all right, is fucking an opportunity that comes along once in a fucking lifetime for individuals of our nature. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Tom, of course my name's Thomas. My name's Tom. The fuck you think I was named Tom, you dumb motherfucker? Anyway, right? His real name is Clarence. I didn't come out here and say my name was T-Bone. You know what I mean? I ain't hide nothing. Nigga. Of course my name's Thomas, right? Anyway, right? So with that being said, Like, yo, this here will allow you the opportunity to stand here and make fucking money. Real shit. Thought it was just Tom. Why isn't your name T-Bone? I tried T-Bone at one point when I was a kid, and it just didn't stick. You know what I'm saying? I'll be honest with you. Evil Dead Ed's real name is Edward. All right. Like, yo, all of us have a full name. Anyway, right?
And hell, dude, I'll give you the full-on disclosure real quick, just because I know this shit. Neither of us are professional financial advisors. Do not take our word as gospel. Do not invest anything you are not willing to lose. Take everything we say as opinion. Take it with a grain of salt. And at the end of the day, make your own decisions. The information that we're giving to you is just what's made us money. It's just our opinion. We're here to help you. We're not here as God. So take from that what you will.
Yeah. But like legit, you know what I mean? Here's what I'm saying. Like, yo, if I'm making money, I'm going to try and show y'all how to do the same thing. Right? Real shit. You know what I mean? That's really where I'm at. Like, yo, I'm going to try and feed y'all motherfuckers as well. Yo, I got nothing to lose. Yo, well, then motherfucking invest. Right? And if you invest in these motherfucking, what they are short ETFs. All right? So really simple. They're betting against the market. Okay? And the market is going down. There's no choice at this point. All right. They're closing sporting events. They're shutting down cities, putting in curfews. They're sending niggas home from work. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, this is what the fuck it is. Yes, the government should suspend tax collection. I fucking agree. Jim Cramer has been on point with this shit the whole time. Right. So this is really where I'm at. I'm giving y'all the opportunity to make money. The UVIX was at 35,000 like 5 fucking years ago. You know what I'm saying? And it's at like fucking $60 right now. That's unbelievably cheap. The SQQQ, you know what I'm saying, was at 400. What up?
The VIX, that's the volatility index.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. The VIX, just to clarify for some people in the chat, when you're going long on something, you're betting it's going to go up. When you're going short on something, you're betting it's going to go down. The VIX is something a little different because what you're betting on is volatility. So think about it like this. If you're betting on the VIX, whether it goes up or down, that's not what you're betting on. You're betting on how big the swing between the peak and then the low point is going to be. So if something moves 5%, you're going to make some money, but you're not going to make as much money if it moves 10%. It doesn't matter if it goes up or down. You're just looking for that volatility and that high volume. That's how the VIX makes you money. And if you're looking at stock markets, especially like the Russell 2000, a lot of the small cap indices, the VIX is going to make you a lot of money, especially in times like right now.
Yeah. Like everybody's saying buy the dip. I'm telling you it's not time to buy yet. All right. I'm not a financial advisor, but I'm telling you it's not time to buy yet.
It depends on what you're looking at. Like certain commodities, you might find a nice bottom to make a quick buck, but you're going to be in and out within about 3 days. Like what I was telling you in the back room, Pinoid, oil is going to pop to around the 34, 35, buy the short then, let it go back down to 30, 31. If you're gonna for 3 days, congratulations, you just. And just another tip from a trial by fire trader: don't think about money in terms of dollar amounts. Don't think about I have $500 or $1,000 or $10,000. Think about percentages, because that's how you're going to put things back into perspective. I don't care if you made $100 or $200 or $1,000. Think about how much you risked, how much your reward is going to be. Look at the percentage movements. That's going to serve you very well.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Yo, Psycho, by the way, man, when you try to go after a mom and a sister, right, real shit, are you going for the inside or the outside clitoris? I was just wondering. You know what I'm saying?
That took a hard left turn.
Yes. Yo, this nigga got on stream the other day and he's like, yo, man, there's an inner and an outer clitoris. I was like, what, nigga? The fuck are you talking about? Like, this nigga's exploring motherfucking prostates and shit and bitches. Like, what the fuck? Yo, like Ryan himself, what up? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, man, like real shit. Like this is, you know what I mean? Like I'm trying to help y'all make money and weather the storm, you know what I mean? Because like, yo, if you lose your job and you are ass out, bro, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, you're gonna regret not putting money in right now. That's my mentality. And that's where I am. I put money in when I was working. You know what I'm saying? And like I took that money and I put that money in the motherfucking these short trades. And you know what I mean? Now I'm on this level where like, yo, worst come to worst, I can sell these bitches off and I got an extra week to survive. You know what I'm saying? Real talk at the moment.
And that's the thing when it comes to when it comes to the markets, it doesn't matter if the markets are going up or down. There's always a way to make money as long as you're willing to take on risk and you're willing to ride something out. Like key thumb, something else me and Pino were talking about in the back end. The reason I sold out of my shorts is because I made my money. But I wasn't willing to let things ride out because the risk, I'd already made enough profit. I wanted to go back into cash and see what things did. Because as long as you have cash, you can take advantage of opportunities. Having a good amount of cash, roughly 20% cash, if you're going to be a trader like what me and Peanut are doing, because we're doing 3 times leveraged, that's a lot of risk. And we're doing ETFs. Usually ETFs don't pay a dividend, so buy and hold is not a viable option. But if you're willing to take that risk, keep about 20% in cash and also look at, like, for example, for me, this is something I know. If you're looking at WTI crude, which is what I trade, it's always a good idea to keep an eye on the ETFs that look at the distillates, gasoline, heating oil, nat gas, because you might find a really good buying opportunity in some of those outliers, because they will move in a certain way. But always have a little bit of cash on hand, because do not try to time the market. Don't play it like it's a casino game.
Well, I'm playing it like it's a fucking casino game at the moment. I'll be honest with you. You know what I mean? Like I'm playing blackjack at the second. That's legit what I'm doing, right? And like I'm okay. That's not even really what I'm doing. Like, yo, I'm holding on an ETF at the second, right?
So you're making a calculated risk, though.
Yeah, like, yo,
there's a difference.
I'm betting on a macro trend at the moment is what I'm doing. Like I know the markets are going down. They're not going to go back up for a while yet, right? I know we probably got at least another 2 weeks worth of this bullshit left, right?
And the thing is, even if it does make a big swing the other way, you're actually still going to make money on the VIX. So like you actually, in a weird way, have not a weird way, but you have diversified yourself against tight trading ranges. You're basically betting that the Bollinger Band is going to be wide instead of tight. So you will still make money as long as the market stays volatile. It doesn't matter if it goes up or down. So the VIX is a nice way to supplement your risk.
Yeah, I'm in pretty good shape right now as far as shit's concerned, right? And legit, like I threw like fucking 250 in and I'm over 500 right now. So I'm in really good fucking shape as far as shit's concerned, right? You know what I mean? And that's 2 weeks worth of trading. That's all this is. You know what I mean? Fucking real shit. And in the end of this, when it's all over with, you know what I mean? I have a pie in the sky dream of having 100 grand on this bitch. Right? Like, yo, because it's real possible for it to be on that fucking level. You know what I mean?
Dude, it could happen.
Oh yeah, for sure. It could fucking because motherfuckers are pouring into these fucking shorts right now. You know what I mean? It could easily drive these motherfuckers up into the goddamn fucking stratosphere, right?
Well, I've noticed the shorts on the Dow, the S&P, and the Russell, their volume has gone through the fucking roof, but the commodities volume has actually been, shaved by about a good 20 to 50%, which is why in the commodities market, I don't really like the shorts at this current level. But
yeah, and I'm sure the NASDAQ too as well. You know what I mean? Right.
Oh, the NASDAQ's always a good one to short because those are a lot of small caps and they're overweight in tech. And when it comes to situations like this, when people start sweating the brow a little bit, tech always makes the big moves because tech is always driven by emotion. It always has been ever since the .com crash.
Yeah. So that's kind of the situation right now. Fucking so where I'm at the moment is, you know what I mean, like fucking I'm hoping that, you know what I mean, in the end of this shit, like my investment pays off to a good tune. And then, you know what I mean, I'll take half off the top and, you know what I mean, make my big moves as far as life's concerned. I'm gonna take the other half, dump it back into the fucking market on a fucking ETF on the whole market and let that triple revert or triple leverage going upwards and just let that shit rock the fuck out. And I mean, and probably end up, you know what I'm saying, fucking quadrupling my money on that shit. So like, you know, that's my mentality right now. But you know, I know the situation. Juan Munoz, welcome, my brother, welcome. Right, fucking and Dingleberry's out here, Prime Movers out here, Evil Dead Ed, Psycho's out here. Man, listen, Desert Coyotes out here. You know what I mean? Fucking like, yo, we is out here getting it done right now. We got a lot of niggas out here watching us, right? Fucking, and that's kind of where my mentality is. You know what I'm saying? Real shit. Like that's where the mental is at the moment. You know what I mean? Fucking this is, you know, really where it's at. You know what I'm saying? Fucking I'm in fucking good shape right now, and I'm gonna keep making fucking money. I got fucking resumes out of a couple of these fucking gigs, and if they don't pay back, you know what I mean? Neutral Bastard, what up, man? Welcome. Fucking if these resumes don't pay off, which I don't think they're gonna here in the next few weeks, is hiring is gonna be on a freeze with this coronavirus shit. I got my unemployment coming into the tune of $1,000 every 2 weeks. I'm smooth, you know what I'm saying? For about a month and a half until like fucking, you know, I gotta like do something till like I gotta like do some shit, you know what I mean? Fucking like, yo, life is cool right now. Like I'm in good shape, you know what I mean?
No, I feel you, dude. And I guess I should give another disclosure when I talk about keeping cash on hand.
Yeah.
The smallest accounts that I ever traded with have been $3,500. That's as small as it gets. When I say keeping cash on hand, I usually say $2,000 invested, about 1,000 in some. If you're looking just to stay steady, 1,000 just on something that's going to give you a good, decent dividend return that you can sit back and forget about and pretend it doesn't exist. The other 1,000 to 1,500, that's what I usually trade with, and then the other 500, that's just to double down, and if the opportunity arises. Mostly what I trade with is full disclosure, since I guess we're pseudo giving advice here, even though I'm not a financial advisor. Take what I
No, it's all right. It's
take
all
what
right.
I
Yeah,
say.
yeah. We're not financial advisors. You know what I mean? We already said this like 12 fucking times.
Yeah, I know, but take what I say as advice, not gospel. But the values that I usually are around, and these are my trading accounts, around like 15 to 20,000. So I like to keep about 5 to 10,000 in cash, just in case shit like this happens. That's why I dumped my shorts and I went back into cash, because I'm just waiting for a buying opportunity. And I'll dollar cost average into it.
Yet. You know what I'm saying? Yo, what's this? He said Denmark locked down the entire country. Like, yo, dude, I'm telling you, we are nowhere near the bottom of this bitch yet. Like, real shit.
And I think really what's really going to end up getting hurt by the coronavirus, it's going to be the shipping companies, it's going to be Chevron, it's going to be Shell, it's going to be ExxonMobil, it's going to be all of the airlines, every single one of them, even the profitable ones. They're all going to get hammered by this. Do you know who's actually going to make a lot of money? Yeah. If you're looking to get into the oil market, this is who you should be looking at. Look at the actual storage companies, because most of them pay about a 5 to 8% dividend. A good amount of them, if you're willing to do some digging, you can see some monthly dividends, and they're usually pretty damn cheap, which means you can buy a good amount of shares and let them sit, because that storage space is going to start going up and up and up as far as the premium is concerned, because supply ain't going down. They're ramping that up. But what do you think they're going to do with all the oil they're pumping out of the ground if they're not sending it to the refineries?
Yo, they have to hold it.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, just with the last EPI numbers, we saw there was a draw, which means that, you know, there was more consumption than there was production on both gasoline, heating oil, distillates, and ironically enough, jet fuel, which was kind of surprising. But there was a draw on that while there is still a buildup in crude inventories. It means they're just sitting on it. So, dude,
Yeah.
buy some of the fucking storage companies. They'll probably make you a killing and pay you a dividend.
Yo, I'll be honest with you, man. I don't think there's any good plays as far as like buying shit for like upward movement right now. Like I don't think there's anything in the market that there's nothing I would want to touch. Like if I had $1 billion, there's nothing in the market I would buy to go upward at the moment. Legit.
I don't know. That's the reason I'm sitting in cash if I'm not in a short.
Like, yeah, like that's why I'm short. Like, yo, bro, if you're not buying short right now, like you're fucking retarded. Like, I'll be honest with you, because there's nothing that's going to go up. You might have a couple of bounces. You're going to have some bounces, but there isn't going to be any fucking like upward movement like sustained for at least the next month or so.
Well, and again, that's the reason I'm ping-ponging a little bit right now, where every time I see it make a decent dip, I'll add a tiny bit to the position. Because my goal is not to buy, 1,000 or 5,000 or 10,000 shares on a triple long all in one fell swoop. No, I'm going to add a little bit by bit, but I'm not going to go in more than, 30 or 40% on the triple long, because that's as much as I'm willing to put in and then sit and wait 6 months. Because when it does spike back up, I'll be sitting pretty. I'll clean up. But that could take me 6 months of just sitting on something and doing nothing with it. In the meantime, I'll let everything sit in my cash account, which does pay me a monthly dividend, so I don't have to worry there. And if I really want to take a little bit more of a less mitigated risk, I'll buy some of the storage companies. Like there's at least 3 that I know. I don't remember the tickers off the top of my head, but they pay monthly dividends between 5 to 13 fucking percent, except the 13% one now is, paused on their trading because
so
they got hammered.
Let me ask you something, right? Because, like fucking, like this is, like fucking kind of a real mentality that we might have to consider, like as citizens of this nation, as men, you know what I'm saying? Do you think this could be it?
I don't think we're there yet, but if things continue with the same type of, what's the right way to put it?
Fervor?
The way the global economy is being treated by a lot of these strong economic players on the global market, they're basically acting like fucking children on the playground trying to fucking argue over who gets the fucking next, or who gets to kick the ball next. It's extremely irresponsible what they're doing. And if it continues down this path, there very could hit a point in time, we're not there yet, but it could hit a point in time where the global economy is so ravaged by these prices that businesses just start going bankrupt, people get laid off, and then proverbial shit really does hit the fan, and then it really doesn't matter how much money you made in the market because it's going to be a hard reset. There's a reason I sit on gold and silver. Hey, that is the fallback plan. And if that does happen, you will see what a lot of people have been, everybody that a few years ago is pointing and laughing, saying, you'll never see $200, $2,000 silver. If things continue the way they're going and it lasts longer than a year, you will see $2,000 gold or $2,000 silver, $10,000 gold. You will see that happen. Now we're again a year out from that, but the possibility is on the table.
Like, I feel you. I'm sitting on a couple of fucking pounds myself right now, right? Like, yo, like, nigga, I've been getting prepped for this shit, like real talk, because I knew it was coming eventually. Like, I knew this day would motherfucking come, right? Like, it's just Jesus fucking Christ, dude. Like the bitch is, I just don't see a bright spot in this bitch for a minute. You know what I mean? Like, even once China gets ramped back up with production,
Well,
like,
if they,
yo, will
let's
the
say,
demand be here for it? Like, yo, it will because everybody's gonna get fucking, like, at this point, we're gonna talk mass fucking layoffs here in a week.
well, let's say China was to actually start bringing their production back online at the end of this month, beginning of next month. It's still going to take them about another month just to get back to the levels that they were. Yeah. Well, I'm saying if they go like hard, if they kick everything back into gear,
it doesn't matter. Yo, it has to travel across the ocean.
Well, and I'm just saying for the Chinese production economy, it's going to take them at least a month to get back to where they were 3-4 months ago.
Yeah.
And that still doesn't take into account how long it takes for those goods to travel across the globe, get to a warehouse somewhere, then get to a storefront near you, and then for someone to buy them. So we're already set back in terms of global GDP production, not just for any one country in general, but just global economic productivity. It's going to take at least a solid 3 to 4 months for everything to get back to where it was 6 months to a year ago. And that's if everything is balls to the wall. Realistically, we're probably talking, we've been set back about a year and a half. Being realistic. It doesn't mean prices are going to collapse. It just means it's going to take a long time before you see the economy start to get back to the same type of levels that we saw late 2017, mid 2018. Because that's just the way that a globalized economy works. You're not going to see someone snap their fingers and go, poof, I'm Thanos.
All right.
Everything's back to normal.
Prime Mover asked a question and said, why are the PMs doing bad right now? Also doing bad right now. What are PMs? Anybody have any idea? The private markets? Is that what you're talking about, bro? You put it in the chat. Tell me what the fuck you're talking about. I'm not real sure where your mentality is right now. But like, yeah, like, dude, real shit. I mean, like, yo, we are 60 days out from anything from fucking China reaching the United States. And why are the precious metals not so bad right now? Because gold and silver are used in industrial motherfucking shit, and the demand has been killed for it. That's kind of the situation. That's why they're doing so bad.
More specifically with precious metals, so if we're going to look at gold doesn't have the same type of industrial capacity that silver does. It is primarily viewed as a store of wealth. It's a hedge against fiat currencies and inflation, which it's had a decent run up, but that's the thing. It's already had a good run up before all of this hit the fan. So gold, unless things get a lot worse, gold's probably going to stay between the very high 16, very low 17 hundred range. That's where gold's sitting. You're not going to see it move above the 2000s unless unless you see another ridiculous move like we saw with oil last week. When it comes to silver, it has much more of an industrial capacity along with palladium and platinum. But here's the thing. The electronic markets have completely slowed down. Factories are shut down. So that kind of destroys a lot of silver, platinum, palladium's upward momentum, along with rhodium, cobalt, and copper. So you're not going to see the precious metals perform in any significant way, not even when it comes to iron and steel. I mean, those are industrial metals.
All right, see, like, all right. Let me explain this. Let me add something in here real quick. All right, so with the 2008 collapse, like, we saw silver and gold like jump all ridiculous fucking prices and shit, and there was a reason for that, right? Because at the same time, like, I remember I was scrapping, like, I was turning in metal and making money this way. And I made probably $30,000 inside of, I think, fucking 3 weeks, because that was back during that flood and shit, right? The problem is that we had printed fucking money ridiculously since fucking 2001 to pay for the war, right? And then plus Katrina and all the bullshit that had happened. And it all culminated in us paying $147 a barrel for fucking oil, right? That was inflation. That's what that was. Like that wasn't some fucking crazy part of the market where oil, you know what I'm saying, went on a fucking run by itself. And when we paid $147 a barrel for fucking oil, it robbed the market of fucking productive capacity, and it robbed the market of value because like people were paying for all this fucking shit, right? They were paying for oil instead of being able to pay for their homes or pay for their fucking whatever, right? And they were paying for gas and all the things that went with it. And it collapsed the fucking economy to start with. That was the match that struck the fucking fire that hit the bubble in our economy. This time is a different situation. All right. This is not us standing here eliminating inflation out of our fucking system, right? This is not what this is. Inflation isn't being eliminated in the natural cause. This is a lack thereof of goods from China that came in that struck all this off, right? When China, this didn't get started until China shut down their fucking manufacturing capacity back in fucking January. And then by mid-February, there was no goods coming into the ports. And then by the end of February, we were fucking collapsing our fucking economy. And here we are today, the 12th of fucking March. And like things are fucking like we're down 30% in every market in the United States and across the world. All right. This is not eliminating inflation. All right. This isn't the fact that, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we have massive amounts of money and they can't print their way out of this situation. Like they printed their way out of the last one because there was a lack of liquidity because of the amount of fucking dollars we shipped to Saudi Arabia through our fucking oil prices being paid at $147 a barrel. This is a whole different animal. Go ahead.
There was another with the precious metals again between 2008 and 2011 is who was it that held it? I believe it was it Lehman Brothers? I think it was Lehman Brothers, but they were the custodians of GLD and SLV.
Lehman Brothers was dead in 2011. Lehman Brothers was dead in 2011.
But no, this started before that. I think it was either
2009.
No, I forget which bank it was. It was the custodian of the previous custodian, I should say, of GLD and SLV, which respectively the ETF that tracks gold and silver respectively. And that got turned over to JP Morgan Chase. And that's around the time when gold had its run up to, I believe it peaked at like what, 2,300, somewhere in that range. And silver peaked at around 48, $50 per ounce.
Yeah.
And come to find out, when a bunch of people actually wanted to make good on their contracts, well, come to find out, actually have the physical metal to back it up. So what happened?
Okay, let me hit Jonathan Doe real quick. Right, hang on a minute. Right, hang on, wait, fucking, here we go. Okay, let me hit you like this, man. All right. The fucking numbers for this are between 2 and 7% mortality rate. The vast majority of them are elderly individuals. This may be a good thing, all right, for our fucking society as a whole, all right? Eliminating individuals out of our society may be something that's necessary. And destroying our economy while we do it is probably not a good idea. All right. Now, I'm going to make money because I see what they're doing. You know what I mean? And I have the opportunity to do so. Right. But the reality is that you need a brush fire to clear the bullshit out of the fucking forest every once in a while. And having the opportunity to stand here and have our fucking housing market come down, having the price of fucking goods come down, having the fucking wages go up, and all of these things, all right, will only happen if we have less fucking people, all right? it's kind of on that level. This is not a bad thing for our society. And even if I die, it's cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna say this till the death of me. I'm not joking. This is good for all of us. If you survive this and come out on the other side, and if 6% of our fucking population gets eliminated, you may be in really good fucking shape on the other side of this bitch to take advantage of being in one of the greatest booms that's ever happened in all of human civilization. Just keeping it all the way 100 with you. You know what I'm saying? That's really where my mentality is. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Hey, you're not wrong. I hate to fucking use this analogy. It drives me nuts. But when you do see situations like this that are at the time very painful, very tragic, screw a lot of people over, if you're positioned in a way to take advantage of it, and this is why people hate people like me, because I see opportunities like this and go, yeah, I see an opportunity here. I know some of you guys are hurting. It's nothing against you, but there's a reason I've been sitting on cash, and right now I see a buying opportunity in oil, and I hope it stays fucking cheap as shit all the way up until fucking next November, December. Hell, I hope it stays all this way until next July, because by the time I know it goes back to the actual fucking price it's supposed to be at, I'll be sitting on 50, 60, 100,000 shares of this shit. I'll just let it move a few fucking dollars. You don't want to know how much money I'll be fucking sitting on. But I can tell you I ain't going to be working again for the rest of my life. But that's the price I pay for taking a risk. Even if I'm only sitting on $10,000 of it. Or 10,000 shares of it.
Yo, look, I mean, like, yo,
my
my
$10,000 is going to be 100,000.
Yo.
So I'll be sitting pretty. I'm fine.
Yo, man, like, real shit. Like, the mentality is this. You know what I mean? Like, real shit. Bad shit's gonna happen. Like, this has happened time and time again in the memorial of motherfucking the history of our fucking species. This has happened. You know what I mean? Like, yo, you're gonna die one day. All right. And everybody around you is gonna die one day. The question is, are you willing to take advantage of that? You know what I'm saying? Like, real shit. Like that.
Well, it's not like I'm gonna change the reality of it. So
yeah, we can't stop a virus. We can't stop any of this shit from fucking happening. Death is part of life. You know what I mean?
Well, it's like you have a lot of people that want to sit on a soapbox and be like, "Oh my God, you're making money off the fact that people are getting into wars and people are dying." No, I'm just taking advantage of a situation that I have no control over.
If a dumb nigga,
I'm doing what I have to do to survive.
His wallet, if a dumb nigga drops his wallet, I'm robbing him. Like, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my mentality. A fool and his money is soon parted. That's part of life, dude. Real shit. Don't slip. You know what I mean? Because, like, real shit, like, yo, would anybody give you that opportunity? Would you trust the rest of the world to give you that opportunity? Would these banks motherfucking stand here and give you a fucking chance to get your money back if you lost it? You know what I mean? Like, real shit. Yo, fuck that. Eat a nigga's breakfast when you have the opportunity. Like, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, real talk. You fucking, yo, man, you alien up right now.
All right, test.
There you go. You're good. You're good.
No, I want to put that in a little bit of a better perspective, though. Just because I'm taking advantage of a shitty opportunity, I'm still using my own money that I earned through my own fucking hard work, and I'm taking my own risk. I'm not taking advantage of anybody else. I'm not screwing anybody else over. And if I bet wrong, the only person I'm screwing over is myself. What am I doing wrong? I'm not crashing the markets. I'm not stealing money from anyone. I'm not robbing anyone. I just see an opportunity. I'm taking advantage of it. And if I bet wrong, I lose. Who the fuck am I actually hurting? Besides myself.
Yo, man. Like, people are going to die. And that's a fact of life. You know what I mean? And when all this really gets to ramping up some shit, you know what I'm saying? Like when all this really gets to ramping up, you better believe I'm gonna be buying funeral stocks and casket makers. Because I'm that type of nigga. You know what I mean? Like, yo, I will profit off of every bit of this motherfucking blood and every ounce of this shit I possibly can. You know what I'm saying? I will buy trash companies that they fucking picking up extra Kleenexes. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. I don't fucking care. It's about money right now.
I made a fucking stupid poll on Twitter just to see what people were gonna say. And I was like, okay, next quarter of business is coming up. Which of these companies do you want to own? You want Johnson and Johnson? Do you want 3M? Do you want Pfizer? Or do you want fucking Kellogg? I'm taking 3M.
Right. I'm probably Johnson and Johnson. I'll be honest with you. You know, I mean, they make a lot of them pharmaceuticals and shit. You know, I mean, they make a lot of shit for hospitals.
Yeah, they do, but man, 3M pays a better dividend, and they're pretty fucking solid. And I can fucking sit there and hold that shit until
I feel like Johnson's going to expand with this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I feel like Johnson and Johnson's going to expand with this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like that's that's really, you know what I mean, the mentality. You know what I'm saying? 3M makes the mask. Yeah, you ain't wrong. You ain't wrong, Jonathan, though. You know what I mean? So like,
well, dude, 3M also makes fucking hand sanitizer, toothpaste, and fucking, you know, sticky notes. Like 3M makes all sorts of shit and pays fucking dividends while they're at it. Like,
well, I think they make
3M's the one I want to buy and hold
too. Like they make a ridiculous amount of shit in fucking 3M. You know, they really do.
That's why I want to buy and hold 3M, Johnson and Johnson, the intermediate one. Dude, if you want to talk about the fucking short sell, though, I'll just fucking buy Walmart and wait for the next quarter earnings to come out and then dump that bitch like a hot potato.
Yo, I put a Twitter poll up on my motherfucking channel, right? Or up on my Twitter page, right? Yo, and I asked the question. I said, which crime do you think is worse, right? Rape, being stabbing, getting hit with a baseball bat, or robbery, right?
Robbery.
And everybody chose rape.
Robbery.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with stabbing. You know what I'm saying? Legit, like literally sticking a knife into somebody else's motherfucking body. I believe would be the worst of the crimes here. Second would be bat. You know what I mean? Third would be motherfucking rape, and then fourth would be robbery, right?
All right, so I'll explain my logic on this one. Rape, okay, you violated me. That's my second worst. Stabbing.
Why? Yo, why is rape the second worst? I feel like stabbing is gonna last a lot longer than that rape.
Because I've already been stabbed, and you know what? It pissed me off for a little bit, and I didn't give a shit about it. I got stabbed in the back of the head and spent 24 hours in the hospital. I don't give a fuck about it anymore.
Okay. Wait. If you got stabbed in the back of the head, right? It didn't hit your brain?
No, it glanced off my skull because I at least had
that's not stabbing.
Common sense to move.
I'm talking about the nigga puts a knife into your stomach.
Oh, dude, I'm gonna die. I'm not gonna give a shit.
You're not dying. You're not dying. You survive. Right?
Well,
you survive.
Then I could say I got stabbed.
Yo, but I'm saying, like, yo, that shit's gonna hurt for months.
Oh yeah, it's gonna suck. But you know what?
That's way worse than rape.
Okay, the reason I say robbery is because I'm not talking about like I got mugged. Like if you destroyed my livelihood,
right?
Being in pain for a few months versus having my fucking ability to feed myself for the rest of my life, let alone have a family. Like if I get dicked because I'm talking like, you know, American greed on fucking CNBC level fucking robbery. Like you fucking wipe out my life savings. Yeah, no, you just fucked over my entire life. Like I might as well just declare bankruptcy and forget about having a family. I think is the worst.
Yo, like legit though, but like you could motherfucking stay in here and file an insurance claim for shit. If you get robbed, like for the most part, if you get robbed, like most people, they either the homeowners insurance or you could sue somebody, right? You can get restitution in court, all these type of things. right? Like, yo, you could be made whole again. You can get that money back, right? But like legit, getting hit with a bat, right? Like, yo, is a wholly different, like, yo, that's like a concussion and shit, right? It lasts for like motherfucking like forever, right? You know, like one day you could wild out and kill your wife and not know it because you got hit in the head with a bat, and I mean 40 years ago, right? But
I mean,
like,
I
yo,
guess
what
if
up?
you're saying like the trauma of like either being stabbed or hit with a bat is going to take away my mental faculties or my ability to work and provide for myself, my family, then yeah, those two are worse. Like, I guess it really depends on the severity. But
I mean, like, yo, anywhere you get stabbed, like actually stabbed, right? Like somebody puts a knife inside your body, it's going to require recovery time, like physically, not emotionally, physically. It's going to require time for you to heal because like you're going to need stitches. You're going to be fucking walking with a limp or holding your arm or fucking your chest. Like, yo, you're going to have muscles that are damaged, internal fucking damage, organs that possibly get damaged, right? Like, yo, there's all types of bad things that can happen from you getting stabbed, right? Same with a bat. But like, if you get raped, like, yo, what's the damage is done there?
mental at worst, and I don't know, you can mental or STD. Worst case scenario, if we're not going with the feminist narrative, but you might end up with a child somewhere, and someone comes to you 5 years later and asks you for child support. I guess that's the worst that could happen. Best case
That's
scenario,
if
you actually
you
enjoy
rape
it.
somebody. That's if you rape somebody, right? But if you get raped, right? If you get raped, and I mean, like, yo, you like even if a dude takes your butthole, right? Like, yeah, there's physical trauma there. Like, yo, you could motherfucking like have your butthole get ripped, you know what I mean, on some shit. But like real talk, like, yo, as far as like crimes are concerned, that can be done to you. You know what I mean, especially for like a female, like, yo, legit, bro, like, it was much worse crimes. You know what I mean? Like, literally, a dude beating the brakes off a bitch and punch her in the face is worse than her getting raped.
I mean, I think that probably goes for anyone though. Like, bro, if you're getting stabbed, I don't really think it matters if you're a guy or a girl. Like, you get a Bowie knife to the fucking gut. You'd be lucky just to walk away from it.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, the market's falling again. It's down. It's in free fall again.
Oh yeah, it's going to be because the trading floor is closed. So the only thing you're going to be seeing right now is, you know, all dead dogs.
Jesus.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah,
But
I know they're loud as piss.
we've been running for like an hour and 20 minutes. So I'm gonna tell you what, man, we're gonna shut this bitch down because I gotta go get some food and motherfucking get something to drink and grab some smokes at the store. So I'm gonna motherfucking holla at y'all motherfuckers later. I'm gonna thank everybody for coming out. Yo, Tennessee Department of Health confirms 18 cases of motherfucking COVID-19. Yo, good shit. Like, yo, it's all over the United States. Like, yo, it's gonna be what it is, dude. Motherfucking like, yo, it's gonna get ugly. You know what I'm saying? Batten down the motherfucking hatches and enjoy yourself. PA just announced schools closing April 1st. Oh, fucking rock on. You know what I mean? Yo, I'm gonna holla at y'all motherfuckers later. Doku, thank you, my brother.
Oh, of course, bro. It's always a pleasure.
You know the situation, man. Yo, I always love having you on. Yo, I'm gonna holla at y'all motherfuckers. Peace. Wear your mask to the motherfucking 7-Eleven and shit. Like, yo, these niggas is fucking retarded.